I'm recording it now.
Those eyes kill me.
Susan, we can hear you chewing.
Oh, damn it. I'm having my Mexican pork rinds, man. Okay, I'll only eat the rest of that one. How did you know that was me?
I saw you.
Oh, I didn't think anybody could see me anymore. See? Boy, it's a good thing I didn't go in the other room. Whoa!
No. Jay, I think you can move forward.
Okay.
Since Kathy's not here to share with us. Susan, you can mute.
Oh, yeah, true.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's interesting. Beautiful. Nighttime's so hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
That was oil pastel.
Oil pastel's hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and only her second piece, so, you know, that's really nice. Really nice. I like the use of the black.
I love black paper. There's something just
Yeah.
fun about that.
Yeah.
Good composition, too.
I like
Yeah.
the white highlights coming down from the tops, kind of like ice or water or something.
In the zone. Yeah.
The blue is so pretty in the middle of all that.
Well done.
Talented.
Very nice.
Lovely.
It sure reminds me of New Mexico.
Ooh.
I was thinking Colorado.
Anywhere but here.
Southwest.
Skiing? I don't think they ski in Arizona, but maybe they do.
Okay, Jay, next one.
Oh, cute.
Sweet. This is soft pastel?
Yes.
Okay.
That's very cute.
Thank you.
Did you work from a reference photo?
Yeah.
All right.
I love the way the red pops out in that whole composition. I like the where it's placed on the page
Mhm.
or in the picture. The way it's all kind of framed in the movement, kind of the real expressive movement in the figure.
And that diagonal is really nice, balanced with those verticals.
Oh, that was
Absolutely.
hard.
Yeah, yeah. Nope, this is real nice right in here.
Makes me
Thank
want to
you.
follow her.
Right.
See what the adventure is.
I'm sorry.
Said it makes me want to follow her and see what the adventure
Oh, I know. Where's she going? Well, she's been hiking, so who knows where she's going there. It was at a camp. And it must have been a misty day. I have no idea if it was raining or whatever that she got out her red umbrella.
Nice.
But I like what you said, Lindy, because it makes you want to follow her, not just across the bridge, but you know where she's going for the rest of her life. You know what I mean? It's like there's like a bigger meaning there, and
So profound.
you picked up on it. That's nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Beautiful piece.
Thank you.
Next.
Cool.
Wow. Interesting.
I love this.
You know, right?
Very pretty.
Yeah. Interesting.
I look at it and it makes me twitch a little bit thinking about all the little pieces of paper that you had to keep track of with a cat.
You remember what happened, don't you? Right, Peggy?
Exactly. Sorry.
That was
Peggy
hilarious.
was sitting across the table from me, and she put something down and all my papers flew off my board
Oh,
that
Wow.
weren't put down yet. So I'm-
He just looked at me like, what did you just do?
That's what cats do.
I'm not a cat.
So anyway, like I said, all of this is rice paper. Some pieces are some of my batik paintings that I tore up, like the orange flower is torn up batik paintings.
I'm
I love
interested.
that sunflower. I love it. It just draws your attention, that sunflower. And I really am enjoying, I keep pointing at it, the dark next to the lilac flower on the left, that dark patch just really, I love that. Yeah, that's the one.
Hey,
And I almost feel like I'd like to see some more of those darks, you know? Judicious.
hey, I can paste some more on. I just felt like tearing something up that week.
Well, it was a very constructive tear.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
So Linda, you would describe this as a collage, a mixed media. I mean,
Mixed media, collage, decoupage, you name it.
yeah, but I mean, like if you were entering it into a show, you would
Mixed
call it
media.
mixed media. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's neat. It's really nice. Beautiful.
I'm interested in what you said that was the vase is iridescent mylar.
Yeah.
Cool.
You
Thank
just
you,
had a
Dick.
piece of funky mylar sitting around and you just cut that up.
I bought it from Dick Blick on a whim.
I'll use it someday.
Yeah.
When you hold it up, is it like, does it shine and reflect light?
Yeah, it's like rainbow.
Cool.
Really, it's mostly purple. But it's just, I put down the stems first and then I put the mylar over them and darn, it looked like a vase.
Yeah.
yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks really
Just an FYI, you can actually enlarge this picture by just pulling your fingers apart on your screen if you're using a phone. See the detail?
When we see everybody's hands.
Everybody's hand. Yeah, you can see it much better. Very good. Very interesting.
Really beautiful. There's so much going on in each and every piece of paper. That's what I love the most, I think.
Yeah, it's so much variety.
I figured nobody could object to Shakespeare for a background, so.
Yeah.
No, but Linda, you know what's neat about it, what everybody's saying is you can look at it for so long, you know, if it's on display in an exhibit, it's one of those pieces that everybody's going to study. They're going to read what's on the papers. They're going to try and figure out how you did it in the Mylar paper and stuff. And so that's what makes it interesting is people are going to be intrigued by it.
Mhm.
We can hope.
Shrine show. Shrine show entry.
Yep.
Why not?
It's really nice.
One of my quarantine paintings.
There you go.
Okay, next.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That is lovely. I love the line work, and I love all of it.
Who did
That's
this?
what Susan does so well is, you know, it's very impressionistic, but there's no mistaking about what it is, and the way she handles tree limbs and branches and grasses, and you know the soft and hard edges, the way she's able to communicate distance, and all of it very just soft and
She's got the
appealing,
temperature
very,
down pat.
very appealing. Yeah, cool and warms.
Yeah.
Composition is just gorgeous and everything. I love the way she has these groups of colors that just dance. I mean, her mark making, her color choices, it makes me pastel envious.
Oh, right.
Well, Susan can do this with oils too. I mean, she's got that. I know there's something about her hand that really conveys this kind of subject matter really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's good at that.
This is lovely.
Beautiful.
I think
I
I'm
love the
relaxed
water.
looking at it.
What was that, Lindy?
I said I think I've relaxed a little bit. I feel like my shoulders have dropped and I've relaxed.
Yeah.
Very
Wow.
Gorgeous.
next.
Luchador? You know, I'm gonna have to go Google Luchador now.
Yeah, seriously, what does that mean?
I'm working on it.
Oh my God.
God, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't it incredible?
That is
Wow.
a knockout.
Oh my God. That is, I don't even,
You just want to reach out and touch it.
yes. Is she on here?
Is that 3D or is that a photograph?
It
What is that?
Luchador is a spun-bound polyester stabilizer.
I want to know if those are like baby canvases stuck to a bigger canvas.
It is.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Can you,
Oh,
can
there
you
she
hear me?
is. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, there's very small canvases that I did first. I did 3 of them and then I needed more. And then I mounted them on a larger canvas. And I was inspired by the butterflies.
Beautiful.
God.
And the Luchador is just a wonderful thing to work with because you can dye it, tint it, cut it, burn it, and it kind of crumples and bubbles.
So Luchador is
Oh, this
top
stuff.
of the canvas?
The Luchador is the butterflies are Luchador.
Okay.
The rest is canvas and fabric.
Okay.
Oh,
That
wow.
And some thread and yarn in
That's
there too.
really interesting.
It's really stunning, Rosalie. Wow, that's just great. It's a lot of energy and you know, interest, visual interest, and what is the overall dimensions?
It's 11 by 14.
Wow. Yeah. Very engaging. How are you going to frame it?
A shadow box of some kind.
That'll make it even more interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
It needs
Great job.
it's like maybe 2 inches deep with
Yeah.
the wings.
Yeah, a floating frame would be really pretty.
Yeah.
So you've got all this, like in a shadow box, you have all this dimension in a contained in a box.
Uh-huh.
What a great great piece.
Do you feel like you be under
It-
glass?
Yeah, the glass kind of, I think, will maybe
Keep it from
detract
getting
from it.
but I don't know what else to do with it. Any ideas would be.
Well, the floating frame, you don't have to use glass. You just, it sets on a little ledge that is inside the frame. So it's framed, but there's maybe a little 1/8 of an inch or a 1/4 inch that
think
is between the piece and the frame.
I think
There's
this
no
is
glass.
so much texture here, though, that it would get dusty so easily, and it
That's
looks
what I
delicate.
thought. It needs
So
protected, yeah.
needs protection. But I would say whatever, put it in a shadow box and get like a masterpiece glass, like a museum glass, so you don't get any glare, because
Yeah.
I don't want to miss any of this. Oh God, it's beautiful. I love how the little canvases are so electric and so bright, but the colors are based on the colors that are in the background, even though they're duller back there. It's like these things are growing out of the ground. I love it.
This is her garden.
I like the idea of, talking, Christy, about the masterpiece glass or the non-glare glass. It's not non-glare, it's actually a,
Anti-reflective.
yeah, anti-reflective glass. But if you enter it in a show, you have to put it under plexi. But I mean, that would just be for the temporary use of a exhibit. But I think it'd be worth it. I mean, this piece to have and to invest in whatever you need to preserve it like that, because it's stunning. Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Thank you. That was my quarantine piece. And it kept me occupied.
How long did it take you to do that, Rosalie?
Oh, weeks and weeks.
Was
Very
it something
nice.
you kind of kept working on?
Pardon?
Was it something you kept working on, like going back and just adding stuff?
Yeah. Because I had to let pieces dry between.
Yeah.
I'd do a little something and I had to let it dry. Like I'd do a few butterflies.
Yeah.
I had to let them dry.
So you never really like done, right?
What?
You never really felt like it was done.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
I keep looking at it and think I found my favorite butterfly, and then I look further and it's like, no, that one's my favorite. And then another one pops out. So it's incredible.
Yeah, that's a great piece, Rosalie.
Really fantastic.
Okay, Jay, next.
Oh, nice. So you did this so you did a tiny one of these and then you just enlarged it?
Yes.
Redid it?
Well, I'm a master gardener, and each spring we have spring fling, and we all donate things, mostly garden stuff, but I donate cards or pictures that are garden related. So I did several of them, and this colors in this one really stood out, and I thought, well, I'll make a large. I don't know, it's 9 by 12 or 8 by 11, I'm not sure.
Love the purple and yellow.
Oh yeah, it's great color choices.
Clematis?
It's watercolor.
No, it's the flower. Is it a,
No, it's no particular flower.
She's a master gardener. She can invent flowers.
The best flower.
looks like a clematis
See,
does.
no, clematis aren't that color. They're purples and,
Yeah, that's the reason I was asking. I was like, okay, do I not know this flower?
I don't know, I just made it up as it went along.
So it could be a
Combo.
clematis.
It's a hybrid. That's right.
I've never seen a clematis that color, so it could be some type of daisy. Well,
Yeah. Well, I really like the contrast between the cool black background with the blues and the purples and violets,
Yeah.
and even that little bit of red up in the left and over on the right. Contrast with the yellow and green.
Great color combo.
Nice, very nice. Yeah.
So what about the small one? Were you trying to capture in the large one? I mean, what did you want to carry over besides the color scheme?
the color scheme mostly, and maybe the style of the flowers.
Yeah.
It was a small, like on a card, And then I mounted the picture on a green, the same color as green leaves, dotted piece of paper, and then put that on the card. So it looked really neat. And I thought, well, I'll just make a big one like that.
I do like I like the color combination a lot. And I like the composition. I like that it's kind of off center and it's got a lot of movement to it and very nice.
Very nice.
Is this all watercolor or did you use any pastels?
No, that's watercolor. I did several watercolors. That's the one I decided to enter
Oh,
this show.
I didn't know you did watercolor. Good for you.
I do everything but oil and and caustics and pottery and stuff like that. But I've done acrylic,
Pretty.
oil,
I really like it.
not oil.
I do too. I think it's very nice. I think if you put a mat on it and put it in a frame, you got a winner.
Yeah, I have to do that yet.
Very nice, Beth.
When you put your mat on there, Beth, you may want to just kind of move it around in there and find the best position underneath the mat.
I think when I took the photo, I got off center, but sometimes when you look at the photo, it's different than what you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I figured. Okay.
And it's okay to lose a part of the painting because it makes you wonder what's behind that.
Okay, next.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Nice. Hilton Head, that's where I'd like to be right now.
Nice. How big is this?
That's
Deb,
Deb with us? She might be muted.
Okay.
There she
I
is.
don't. 8 by 10, 11 by whatever, 14. I don't know. Not too bad.
Somewhere between 5 by 7 and 16 by 20.
16 by 20.
Through your door, right?
And so
I
you
know
did-
that place in Hilton Head. That is the Pines. What's it called?
Sea pine.
Sea Pines Plantation. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Funny. That's nice. So you did this from a photo.
Right.
Nice. I like the color a lot.
Yeah, that
And I-
lighthouse is cool.
I have a thing for lighthouses. I don't know why. They're just so, I don't know, vertical. You get all these lanes
Yes,
to
they
them,
are.
and you get a vertical in there. You're like, yes.
And the stripes are horizontal. Gee, there's so much to see. I do
So
like
here's-
lighthouses.
So here's what I like. I like the figures. I think they're, they're not super specific, but they're there. You know what it is. It's a moment. And I think that's the major thing about this painting is the moment. And you captured it. And, you can look right at it. It's in this great setting. And, even some of us who've been there recognize it. And so I think that's what makes it really successful, Deb. So
Yeah.
nicely
Good
done.
golf day.
Yeah, yeah.
With the golf rules going on right now, you're not allowed to touch the flag. You can't take it out of the hole.
Oh,
And don't leave your club on the green.
Yeah, really. Nice, Deb.
thanks.
Very nice.
Great.
The only
That's
thing
great.
I would say is I would have put a little bit of shadows. Yeah, where the figures and the flag and our, because they might be floating a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good point. That would land them a little bit more on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people, it's hard to see in photographs sometimes, especially when, you've got it lit flat. But some people will, if you have to make up the light source, draw a little sun on the edge of your paper and the air, you know, so every time you see that, my light's coming from this side, my light's coming from this side, it just sort of keeps reminding you. And that way, anytime you make a shape, you can say, okay, well, I got to make this side darker, got to make this side darker. And at least it, you know, helps you make up that light source. So you could do, you know, if you have a direction, you could put a darker edge on the lighthouse and on the pole, and it just starts rounding things out.
Okay. Thank you.
Good comment.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Thomas once said, every painting you do, first thing you do is determine where your light source is,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what it is. I don't know, just thought of that.
Good advice.
Jerry's great.
I think
Anybody?
it's overhead right now in that one. Midday. Okay, next.
It's very pretty.
Cute.
So Darla, I've seen this one. Darla has been joining me on Tuesdays for this 30-day drawing challenge little chat that has turned into 60 days. And she's been working very hard in her stylized manner to do a better job with facial features. So she still wants this stylized approach, but you know, we talk a lot about perspective, and she's come a long way. And I really love this piece. It's got so much texture. It's blurry right now. It's not a great photo, but it's got a lot of texture, and it's just, I don't know, there's something. I told her I love how cheery her hair is with the little curls and the flower, and then she just got this like blank, deadpan, kind of sad expression on her face, and I just love it. It's so sweet. And it's so contradictory to like Darla's, just happy, happy, happy. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really neat piece. And I like your description of it as expressive. And, you know, we're not really concerned here about total realism or anything, but yet in this stylized manner, this image really works well. It's, you know, I mean, it could easily go into a cartoonish direction, but I don't see that as this. I see this as you describe it, much more expressive, and there's a little bit of melancholy in those eyes.
A little tired of the pandemic. She's all dressed up with no place to go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I was thinking.
What is the medium? Is it acrylic or?
I'm not sure. I think she throws everything at her stuff. You know, there's a lot of paper like applied, and then there's texture in the background, and I want to say it's probably acrylic and maybe gel pens, and you know, who knows?
It looks sculptural. It looks like she's got a lot of texture in it. That's why.
Yeah, I think she's got something applied, some sort of paper applied in the background.
She does that. She does that. Not decoupage, but she uses that liquid that turns the paper into some kind of, I don't know, molding thing. I can't remember what she called it.
She had a workshop about that one.
Maybe modeling paste
right.
or gel, modeling gel or something like
that. I want to say citronella, but that's not what it is. It's called, starts with a C. I can't remember what she did, but she used the National Geographic pages to apply to things.
Yeah,
but
so
she's
she's doing photo transfers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just really like, you know, the spirit of almost everything she does. It's all got that kind of feeling, whether or not it's kind of melancholy like this or more exuberant and happy. You know, it's kind of unmistakable Darla, you know, I mean.
Yeah.
I like the shadow under her chin and the shadows around, like in between her eyes. It kind of helps it come alive.
It's completely flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a little dimension.
Is Darla on?
She's not here.
Oh, that's too bad. I really, you know, would like to tell her how much I like it. It's nice, very nice.
Well, maybe she'll be able to see this recording.
Oh, great.
Okay, next.
Like the music.
Is this Darla also?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
All right. Well, see, different feeling, but to me, I see Darla in this, and just the way she's handled the colors and you know the script and the message. It's fun, like all of Darla's work.
yeah, stencils and all kinds of things.
I can't tell, but it looks like she's like it's all one picture of the person, but she's blacked out the dress maybe, and I kind of dig that flat. It's just as flat as the letters.
Yeah, it reads really well on the screen. Nice
Yeah.
colors.
I like the hopscotch. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the composition too. She kind of put that together. Even though the figure is almost in the middle, it's still very interesting.
big, part of that bigger shape too, so it's offset and yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that it's almost like a grid or a polka dot texture type feel to that in the background. It really adds to it, and
Like a pop art kind of
yeah, and
Ben-Day.
it contrasts with the dark of her dress, and it helps bring out the colors really well too.
Cool, very cool.
Those dots individually, or she had a stencil. They almost look individually.
It looks like bubble wrap.
Yeah, that's what I was
It does.
I've seen that before.
Well, I've used bubble wrap for my torn paper to make some texture on the papers, so it feels like that's what it is.
something with a pattern like that, yeah.
Like a basketball. Yeah,
So,
And
Like my
she,
pot holder.
she uses bubble wrap a lot, so I agree with
I
what
just have this vision of Darla working in her beautiful little studio and just giggling like a little 5-year-old, you know, just
And throwing water.
fun. And using too much water, yeah.
Using too much water. That's right.
Water!
Okay, that's great. All right, Jay, next.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
wow.
Very nice, Kim.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I didn't get the message about putting critique or uncritique, but y'all are welcome to critique it.
We're
The
just gonna
colors-
rip it to shreds. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, the colors didn't come out as well as they are in the picture itself. They're a little bit more intense than they show here.
is this
Uh,
Yuko paper?
Yes.
Very cool. That stuff is so hard to work with.
It is.
I'm having a ball with it though. I really am.
Good for you.
That's
I can't
good.
keep the paint on it.
It
do-
forces you to loosen up, doesn't it? And
Yes.
even in your drawing, which is very cool in this picture, you know, it has a great feeling, and this is really very nice. Very expressive and fun to look at. Beautiful
Color-
to look at.
Wonderful.
The
Love this
colors
group.
are lovely. And the
I like the kind of the warped perspective of the chair. Makes it a beautiful shape.
Yeah,
Beautiful
take
shape.
eyes away. It's so wild. I love it.
I do too. I love that so much. I mean, that could even stand on its own. Just that corner down there.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. I
And the
do
window
love
too.
that sort of melty feel. The whole thing has that melty feeling to it, and I just really like that.
Good for
The
you
interest-
working with that paper. That is really hard paper to work with.
Wonderful, Kim.
Thank
Yeah,
you
keep
very
doing
much.
Okay, next.
your reference to Some Good News, John Krasinski, that was hilarious, right? Is that what you're referring to? Some Good News by John Krasinski. Is that the show you were talking about?
Yes.
That was hilarious. If nobody has caught that, you should look it up online. It's really very entertaining.
It's on YouTube, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. It's SGN. Oh, those are beautiful. Beautiful.
Are all of those puzzle pieces little pieces of leather?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
They're all scraps from Greg Luttrell's. When he came and did his presentation several years ago, he invited everybody to come and pick through his scraps. And I thought, oh, that's cool. I'll take a bunch of scraps. Well, they've sat in my drawer for years and years now. And I'm like, I need to do something with that other mandolin that I have. And so I don't know. I just started putting it together. It came together as a puzzle. And then I thought, well, that's what people do during the pandemic. A lot of people were doing that. Puzzles. And then I thought the back of it looked like a teardrop. So I made it a teardrop. And it's kind of like the pastimes on the front and the sides, but then on the back is the uncertainty, the emotions that this pandemic has really brought to light for a lot of people, and the isolation and stuff like that. But then on the sides, if you can look at the picture at the bottom, I tried to make it look like sidewalk chalk, although sidewalk chalk doesn't work very well on paint. So I just use markers, and I don't know. I'm least pleased with the sides because it just doesn't look as professional or whatever. But at the same time, that's what the little kids are doing, and so maybe it just looks more like kids type stuff that have, you know, the sidewalk art on their driveways or whatever. And so I just kind of referenced things that you know, have been going on because of this.
That's a great piece.
I actually really love the edges, and I like, I mean, they remind me of, you know, the yard signs that people are putting out. It reminds me of, you know, it's not the quarantine, but the issues we're having right now, and people, you know, decorating store windows and, you know, in the midst of this turmoil. But I also like that, you know, you've got on one side, you've got this loneliness and isolation. And then on the other side, you've got, you know, what you're trying to do to keep yourself busy, but connecting it all and keeping you sane is this band of everybody's in the same shit right now, you know? I think that's really nice. I think the sentiment is lovely. And, you know,
I see it like a childlike too.
That's really a keepsake for this for your next generation to see what was going on.
Well, you know,
What?
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Art doesn't really exist in a vacuum. And, you know, when you have these words, I can read them around the edge here: isolation, anxiety, grief, uncertainty, fear, loneliness. Those are not things that we necessarily want to celebrate, but we can't ignore it either. And you do have the more positive words along the edges of the piece and or the instrument. So you've covered the bases, and you know, it's just a wonderful thing for this period of time. It really reflects a lot what's going on. So
Really a wonderful collector's item. I mean, it's really a family heirloom.
It's for sale.
Oh, so you're not that connected to it?
people will look back on it and the date and know that that's what went on.
Yeah,
you know,
anybody's
year has
family heirloom.
Yeah.
Save it for your little granddaughter, and you know that when she was busy dividing cells, this is what was going on.
Right.
I call it Ode to COVID-19.
I love it. I love it.
It's a great piece, Peggy.
Thank you.
It's a great statement.
Next.
And I love that you used Greg's letter too. I mean, that makes it even more meaningful.
Yeah.
Actually, that's all.
Oh, great.
Didn't I send you something, Jay? I sent a picture.
So did Lindy.
Yes, that's true. I got Lindy's, but Karen, I don't have yours.
Sorry.
So
I sent one to Marty, and
No,
I don't know if that. I thought I sent one. I thought I sent one to you through publicity as well.
I didn't get one, Karen.
Oh,
You
there it
didn't
is.
get one on email
No,
This is
I did
Lynn.
not get one on email.
or text? Oh, sorry,
No.
didn't go through for some reason.
So here's
Can you
what
see?
Just
These are Lindy's.
Yeah.
Made a collage out of it. Everyone was talking about gardening, and I just like, well, I can make little vegetables and put them on sticks for you to know what vegetable is in what container, and that's how this kind of all came about.
That's
I like
cool,
it.
Lindy.
That lower right one,
Carrot.
it's just one of those obscure vegetables that you look at it and you're like, what is that? And
2020.
yeah, and the top right one could be a turnip for turnips over radishes. It's personal
There
interpretation.
you go. Right.
Well, art is personal, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of fun, Lindy. Did you make these at Third Degree? What's the status over there?
Third Degree is right now, the renters can put in time, and like 2 people, they have a restricted number of people that can be in the building. They're still not doing events. I've been actually working in my home studio.
I see.
Oh.
So what everything I sell at Third Degree is made at Third Degree. So I've been staging up color, putting together base concepts, flower petal parts that take forever for me to make. I've been doing a lot of that type of work ahead of time and setting it up when I can get to Third Degree, which probably for me is not going to be almost till August. So it's going to be quite a while for me.
Yeah.
Then I will have things ready for me to put together and to make for Third Degree.
Very cool.
I'm making stuff for myself and having some fun and coming up with new color concepts and doing a lot of prototyping, doing a lot of research work.
Good. I mean, that sounds like a good thing to do right now. And these pictures of these pieces are pretty wonderful. And keep going, carry on. I mean, we all got to do what we're doing.
Yeah.
In this time
Now you
period.
need some lettuce, so you got a salad, right?
Well, I just got kale, beans, and peas are my next 3.
All right.
I'm just working.
Well, we expect to see a salad next time.
That's great, Lindy. Okay, I'm going to go
I
ahead
want some spinach.
Okay. Marty,
and stop the recording.
Marty, I can
Hey, there's Kathy.
Marty, I can I'll find it and let you know when I'm ready.